Welcome to episode 1282 of the Multifamily Collective. Today, let's talk about trusting your gut. Everybody knows what that gut instinct is, right? You get this thing inside of you that sort of wells up, or your palms get sweaty, or sort of sweaty on the brow, or your breath becomes a little more shallow than usual. That is your gut trying to tell you something. That is your body trying to tell you something. That is that you are facing a big decision, or maybe it's not such a big decision. But today, let's talk about big decisions, things that will be life altering for you or your organization. And how do you process that? It's best not to do it in the moment, especially if it's a big thing that has a dramatic impact on your business, or the potential dramatic impact on your business. I have 5 things that I would tell you that you need to do. Maybe there's 6 or 7. We'll have some bonus steps. But first thing is acknowledge the fact that your body is trying to tell you something. Many times we feel that, we don't really acknowledge it, and we try to move forward, we try to suppress it, whatever it is. Fight, flight, freeze kicks in, and you just don't acknowledge the fact that your gut is trying to tell you something. My encouragement to you is, if you don't journal, buy a journal. Don't even buy one. Just get out a piece of paper for this exercise. Sit down and write out the decision that you are attempting to make. Just put it down on paper, whatever it is, write it down. And then decide based on what your gut is telling you and what you feel compelled to do. Write that down, whatever it is, whatever the decision is that you want to make. Write it down. I'm doing X thing, and then say it out loud. Sometimes in that moment, when you say it out loud, the verbalization of this thing that you've written down will get you to the decision. But if it doesn't, then you have to go through the exercise of writing pros and cons. This is an age-old principle. It's not something I'm making up. It's not novel by any stretch of the imagination, but the very act of writing a pro and a con list, and write down all the potential positives and all the potential negatives of that particular decision that you're trying to make. Write them down, literally write them down, and then put a date. If that pros and cons list gets you to, let's say it's telling you that decision is a good one and that you need to take a step forward, write down a date that you need to take that step, or you need to make that ultimate decision. And then spend the next 2 to 3 weeks, 1 to 2 weeks, 1 to 2 days, whatever the time frame is, doing some research. Go out and find some data that backs up the decision that you're trying to make. It's through that process of researching, through doing the reps, that you'll actually get to a point where it'll just feel right, or it won't. You'll know if you need to make that decision or not based on the research, trusting the gut, doing the journal entries, et cetera, et cetera. You'll know whether it's a go or a no-go. So those are the steps when you feel that gut instinct that you're making a big decision that you need to listen to. Those are the steps you need to go through, rather, to get to the conclusion and the outcome that you're after. Take care. We'll talk to you again soon.